On day 2 of the draft, the 49ers address needs on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Here to break it all down with us is President of Football Operations and General Manager John Lynch. With the 64th overall pick, the 49ers go with Renardo Green out of Florida State, cornerback, but he's played virtually every position on that secondary, led the ACC with 13 pass breakups. How do you envision him fitting into this defense?
Well, first and foremost with Renardo, he's a guy who loves football, and he loves the physicality, the competitiveness of the game. He's a competitor. He's a tough kid. You see that on film. He's scrappy. He's feisty. I was just looking at my report, and everyone talks in the draft room, and that's what they talked about first and foremost, and I love that. People do well in this game that love it and have the requisite talent, and he has both of those things. And, man, we love adding those guys. And then he's a really good football player. What strikes me is he's very sticky in coverage. He's going to get up in your face. He's going to compete. He's going to be physical. And he's going to be close to the receiver when the ball's thrown. And, we think of people often equate ball production to intercepting the ball. We love intercepting the ball, and we'll work on that with Renardo. He had one in his time at FSU. But, as you said, 13 PBUs, that's ball production to us. We think he's a fantastic player, plays our style, outside, inside, and he plays like a Niner. So we're excited about him.
I know physicality is one of those trademarks that you value. Does that have a little bit to do with your former position as a safety and just the way you like to play ball when you were a player?
It's the way we like to play football. I'm sure the way I played influences that some. I think it sends a message, and beating people to the punch is something Bill Walsh used to coach us at Stanford. The one year I got to play consistently, who's going to knock who back, and we like being the aggressors there. Renardo's one of those players, and my buddy Derek Brooks, one of the greatest linebackers of all time, played at Florida State. His son played at Florida State. He's very close to that program, and it's always nice to have people close to the program. Hey, here's what I'm seeing. Tell me, is that what they say about this kid? And he signed off, and when my buddy Derek Brooks does, that kind of confirms and puts the stamp on it. And we were excited. It was a long wait. When you're seeing all those picks go, it's hard to be at the back end of these rounds. I hope we're one step further back next year because it's a good place to be picking because it means you did good things the year before.
When I asked Renardo Green about joining the veteran corners in this team, he was very quick to point out Charvarius Ward and the opportunity to learn from him. What can he benefit from studying the way that he plays?
Yeah, Charvarius, to me, first of all, he's just a real special human being, first and foremost. So I think Charvarius will welcome the opportunity to mentor the young man. They're both great competitors. They both play physically, so there's a lot of things. But Charvarius has been through it a little bit, right? And I think that experience is invaluable. That position is one where there's a lot of tricks to the trade.
You said you were unhappy with where you were in the second and third rounds, but you changed that, moving up to spot 86, making that trade for Dominick Puni. What made him a must-get player at that spot?
I think his versatility, again, the physicality with which he plays with. When I speak of versatility, Dominic's a guy that you talk about versatility a lot, but when you've seen a guy play guard and then move out to tackle for his last year at Kansas, that sticks with you. Then you go to the Senior Bowl and he's playing center, and you talk to the coaches and the people at Kansas, and they say, hey, during his time he often would snap during practice. And so he's a guy we really do think has 5-position versatility, and we believe he's got a lot in his body, and he's going to benefit from playing our aggressive style, and a lot of his athleticism is going to really come to the forefront. That's our hope. That's our vision. And that's our belief that he can kind of unleash a lot of ability and play our style.
Dominic was someone that you brought in for that top 30 visit. What did you make sure that he saw about this organization? Because he was very convinced this is where he wanted his landing spot to be.
Yeah, you could tell that when he was here. It's just being around our culture. The way we do it now, we bring a lot of these kids in at once, 25, kids on the 30 visits. We don't get everybody in at one time. We found years ago that we like bringing them in together because you love to see these guys interact. Some stay quiet, stay in the back. Some are the loud guys. Some people are just the people everyone gravitates to. And so you just can observe a lot, but most importantly, they get to sit down with who might be their position coach if we end up drafting them, and that's really cool. Chris Furster got to welcome Dominic today, and you could tell they really, over the phone, that they had really bonded during the 30 visit, as we all had. And they get kind of run through the ringer and go to a lot of, it's like speed dating. They go around our building and get to know a lot of people, and it's kind of a marathon. We want to see who can withstand and still have energy and present themselves well, even though they've been flying all over the country and might be a little irritable because they just want to go play football. They want this process done, but we want to see who can endure, and then we have fun with them too and get to know them, get to know who they are as a person, who their families are, all that. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you so much for your time. I know these days are long, and the faithful are still very much looking forward to those 6 picks that you've got on day 3.
So are we. Thank you.